What's going on, guys? This is Joe. As you can see, I am joining an Amonkhet, I'm joining the Amonkhet League. I'm going to start drafting soon. It's our first full draft on the channel. I've obviously drafted this set in paper, as well as some intro drafts, which you'll be able to see. Probably I'll have them linked at the end. But this is the first official one. We're officially joining the league. This should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. As always, I hope you guys enjoy it. And you can always, as always, let us know what you think in the comments down below. I don't necessarily know. I'm not going to start off saying that I'm looking for anything in particular. We're going to try to read the table. We're going to try to read the signals. We're going to see what cool bombs we open, hopefully, God forbid. And we'll see what we get. I'm definitely keeping my fingers crossed for some good stuff. Looks like we'll be starting any second now. So yeah, let's get into it. I am super excited. Hopefully this works out well for us. All right. We open a Never to Return. That is not bad at all. I like Never to Return. The return part is just okay, but Never is a very nice removal spell. Trial of Solidarity is not bad. This is kind of not the best trial. Final Reward is nice, although very unlikely to come back. Fanbear is great. I love Fanbear. Pouncing Cheetah is okay. Cartouche is great. Nest of Scarabs is okay if you're in the -1/-1 counter deck, which we could be if we're in black, because I'm picking this. So this will be our first pick. Hazoret's Monument's okay. It does let you rummage, which is helpful late game, but yeah, I'm not necessarily looking for a Hazoret's Monument. There are a lot better things in this pack. Electrify is good too. I didn't mean to gloss over that. And it's the only red card in the pack, and it might be what I picked if Never to Return wasn't here. Like I said, I like Never to Return a lot. So obviously the return part helps you if you're in zombies in some way, because you just get another zombie on the field. Here's another Final Reward. There's also a Trial of Strength, which is not bad. A Gale Strike, which is good. Cascading Cataracts is really nothing. I'm gonna take Final Reward. It's actually the only playable and valid black card in this pack, so I'm gonna take it. I know I passed a Final Reward already as well, but that's fine. We'll see what we get. Naga Vitalist in that pack too, which was nice, along with the Trial. Wow, yeah, black's looking great. I mean, there's a Bantu's Monument, which is kind of the last thing I'm looking for out of all of these black cards. Scatter Groves is not where we are right now. And the rest of the stuff in this pack that's not black is not really very exciting. Hieroglyphic Illumination's okay. I think I'd go for the Grim Strider before the Curse Minotaur, mainly because it's an uncommon. And Labor the Heart's good too, but I'd rather start building up some creatures. So I'm going to take the Grim Strider. Here's another Grim Strider. Here's an As Foretold. I mean, it's... Do I do that? There's a Festering Mummy, a Fanbearer. It seems like white-black zombies might be open. I know it's only pick 4, but still. Grim Strider's good. Do I just give somebody an As Foretold? That's a really tough choice. That's a really, really tough choice. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're As Foretold right now. I'm also not sure if it's worth anything, but... Oh, man. It also got past, what, 3 people before it got to me? Somebody's going to be real happy. But I think I'm going to take the Grim Strider here. I think I'm going to try to send a clear signal that black is not open, since I'm in black here. Is this another Bantu's Monument and Labor the Heart? That's crazy. And another Cartouche of Knowledge. And another Fanbearer. That's nuts. I think I'm going to take the Fanbearer here. Labor the Heart's good, like I said. Bantu's Monument's fine. But if these Fanbearers are going to be going around, I'd like to start picking them up, because I like Fanbearer a lot. Wow. And then we get this pack. Manglehorn's just bad. I don't really like it. Warfire Javelineer wants to be in the blue-red spells deck, and we're miles away from that. Lux of Rivershine's bad. Decision Paralysis is okay. I think Quarry Hauler might be the best card in this pack. I think I'm going to take Quarry Hauler. We're obviously not married to white, so we could go into -1/-1 counters, and that's what Quarry Hauler wants for green-black. Oh, man. On-crop champion's fine. We do have green and white, but we're obviously heavier black. And it helps with exert. It's the best card in the pack. Next would be one of these two blue cards. Damn. I guess I'll go with the on-crop champion just because we have one of each of those colors already, so why not? Yeah, look at this. So Seraph of the Suns is here and Greater Sandworm is here. High drop, good creatures in green and white. But this one has cycling and this one doesn't. But this one's an uncommon and this one's a common. If they're coming around this late now, maybe I pick up a Seraph. I don't know that that's the right choice. But here's another Fan Bearer. That this is our opening pack, I guess, because Hazaret's Money was here. I'll definitely take a second Fan Bearer. I like that. Supply Caravan's fine. It's probably one of the best. I mean, maybe Talkrop Skirmisher ties with it, but for what we're doing, Supply Caravan, yeah. Lay Bare the Heart and Bantu's Monument come back. I'll take Lay Bare the Heart over Bantu. I mean, we have Grimstriders, but if we're playing Bantu's Monument on turn 3, Grimstrider on turn 4 isn't really much cheaper. And there's a Fan Bearer again. That's awesome. 2 Lay Bare the Hearts is nice. I said Lux of Rivershine's unplayable. I'll probably just take the full art land. Why not? Interesting. So it looks like we're white-black right now, but if we open something crazy in green, we opened another Lay Bare the Heart. That's nuts. In this pack, it's probably just Vizier. Protection of the Heckma's garbage. Aven Mind Sensor. Oh. Yay. We won that one. Cool. Thanks. Aven Mind Sensor is fine. In limited, I don't like it. Horror of the Broken Lands is good for us, but I think it's Vizier here. Again, it's an uncommon. We might see Horror come back. We probably won't. But we can. This either gets a blocker out of the way for us to attack, or it blinks one of our creatures and it doesn't come back till the end of the turn. But still, I think it's Vizier here. Lord of the Accursed is very good. We also have Start to Finish, which is a removal spell and creature production, but we have 3 Fan Bearers. Yeah, it's probably just Lord here. Again, I said we could be white-black zombies, and if we're white-black, that's pretty good. It's a nice Lord of the Accursed pickup there. I like that a lot. Here's a Blighted Bat. It's a zombie. Here's another final reward. Decimator Beetle's great, but I think we're moving away from green at this point. I think I'm going to take the final reward here. Sparring Mummy's okay. Blighted Bat's much better, and I'll probably take it if it comes back, but I doubt it. But final reward is fantastic. It gets rid of gods. It gets rid of a lot of different things. Here's a Blighted Bat, but there's also a Start to Finish and a Cast Out. There's a Gust Walker in this pack. There's a Soul Stinger. This pack's awesome for us. I am probably going to go with Cast Out here over Start to Finish. We saw another Start to Finish, and hopefully they'll come back because it looks like they're not being picked very highly because we're the one in white-black. But Cast Out's fantastic, so I'm going to take that. Definitely not a Harvest Season deck. Splendid Agony is good. Cursed Minotaur is a zombie. I like Splendid Agony a lot, but we have just picked up a bunch of removal, so I'm probably going to go with the creature, plus it's a zombie for the Lord. So let's go with the Cursed Minotaur here. Hazaret's Favors, nothing. Sparring Mummy's good, but I think Miasmic Mummy's better for us. Gate to the Afterlife is nothing as well, so it's between Miasmic and Sparring, but I think we'll see a Sparring Mummy, and Miasmic is a lower drop for us. It's a 2-drop creature, which we don't have yet. Festering Mummy's great. Wow, yeah, this deck is very open. Top Crop Elite's good. I would have taken that if Festering wasn't here. But Festering Mummy is here, so I'm taking that. Splendid Agony's here. Take it. Limits of Solidarity's here, which is, I mean, it's not, an amazing, amazing card, but it's not bad either. But I'm definitely taking Splendid Agony. There's the third Laybear the Heart. Do we do it? I think we do. It's over Unburden was really the only other choice there. We might cut one of them. 3 Laybear the Hearts I feel like is a little much. Still not a Hazoret's Monument. It's impeccable timing, probably over Scarab Feast. We don't have a lot of cycle discard synergies, and this is just more removal that we probably just won't play, but still. This is working out really well so far. Let's get rid of this green. There's another Miasmic Mummy. That's not bad. We might cut one of those, but we might not. This deck, I like this deck, guys. I like this a lot. We'll see. I say that and then we lose for the first 3 rounds or whatever. Regardless, or for all 3 rounds. But no, I think this deck is pretty cool. We're getting a lot of duplicates, obviously. We got double Grimstrider, double Final Reward, triple Laybear the Heart. We'll take a Blighted Bat over a Dune Beetle. Dune Beetle's not bad, but Blighted Bat is definitely better. Triple Fanbearer. Wow. We have a playset of this uncommon right now. And yes, I'm sure it's not that good. I'm aware it's not that good. And I don't know. We definitely don't want 4. But let's get rid of 2 for now. But realize that we have them in there. Move them over here. Oh, lovely. Gate to the Afterlife. Not at all what we're looking for. And what I assume will be a land last pick. Yes, no, maybe. Hey, it's a full art swamp. We could play that. No, put it over there. I'll totally put a full art swamp in our deck. That's great. All right, last pack. Glyph Keeper. We have Stir the Sands, but Glyph Keeper? Ugh, at least we're not necessarily playing against the person that gets this. In fact, very, very unlikely. And there's not a lot of black in here, but Stir the Sands is like totally what we want to be doing with the Lord of the Accursed. So it's definitely Stir the Sands. Yeah, this is a zombie. It's a rare. I'll take the Doom Dissenter if it comes back, or the Soul Stinger, but it's definitely Plague Belcher here. That's awesome. Canyon Slough, we're not really looking for red. In fact, we have literally not a single red card. There's no white in this pack either. I'm going to take a Dune Beetle out of here. Do I take a Cradle of the Accursed? I'm pretty sure that's just going to come around later because that card's not amazing either. I'll take a Dune Beetle. We have 23 cards, but I'm sure we're cutting some stuff. So, yeah, I'll take the Dune Beetle. Not super happy with it, but it's fine. Compared to everything else that we have, I'm definitely not complaining. I might get rid of Supply Caravan. Take it out for now. Put it over here. Cards that we're considering. Yeah, Plague Belcher was a really nice pickup there. Second pick. It's a zombie, but it's also just a rare in black, which is nice. At this point, with 5, 6 white cards, we might just be a splash of white. Here's a Binding Mummy. I'll definitely take a Binding Mummy in this deck. Over a 3rd Grimstrider. Yeah. It's zombie synergy. We want it. Crocodile sucks. I would love to have a Crocodile, but we're not in that deck. So Wandering Death, if it comes back, I'll take it. Jeru's Resolve, same thing. I mean, obviously Grimstrider, but I'm assuming the Grimstrider's not coming back, is what I'm saying. We have an Oketra's Attendant, which is nice. We're not the -1/-1 counter deck, so we're not Nest of Scarabs. That's pretty much it. Talkrop Elite's good too, but if we're going white at all, we might as well just take this. There's another garbage protection of the Heckma. 3/3 flyer for 5 or a 2/2 flyer for 4. The Talkrop Elite might actually just be better here. I know this has cycling, but it's also double white, and we're not heavy white, but we are in it. I'm going to take the Talkrop Elite. That might be the wrong choice, but I feel like that's fine. I feel like it's a fine choice. Oh, Inno-Catcher's Name is great. It sucks that Temet's still here, but we're not embalming. So Inno-Catcher's Name it is. Here's another cartouche of knowledge. But Inno-Catcher's Name is great in the zombie deck. Consuming Fervor still here. Sacred Cat is not really where we want to be. Supernatural Stamina is not really where we want to be either, but I think I'll put it in the board. I doubt. I don't even know that there's a scenario where we play it. Kind of same thing with this Vizier, but that's fine. I'll put it in there as well. I mean, our deck looks okay. We're going to have to make some cuts, but this deck is fine. I have no complaints with this so far, and we could still get something, but I doubt it in these last couple picks. All right. Yeah, Stir the Sands was a nice pickup. Plague Belcher was a nice pickup. And Lord of the Accursed was very good as well. So many Laybear the Hearts. No Fanbears after pack 1? Or did we get a third one in pack 2? I thought it was after... I think we saw them all in pack 1 and none in packs 2 or 3. There's kind of still nothing here for us. This is nothing. It's going to be Vizier, but again, it's going to go over here because I don't see playing it. It's not even a zombie. Same with Supply Caravan. Put it in the board with the other Supply Caravan. I'll take a Cradle of the Accursed. It's probably bad if we're 2 colors to be putting in a colorless land. Take the Juror's Resolve again as well. But it does make a zombie. It's just really slow. Sure. Full art land for the deck. Why not? I don't care. I'll take the land and the land. And we're going to deck building. This deck's not bad. Deck is not bad at all. I really don't have any complaints. We'll get rid of this because I don't want it. We'll take out the Swamp and the Plains to use later. Cradle of the Accursed is a hard maybe for me. Let's see what we have like this. Get this out of here. That Seraph of the Suns is real awkward. Look at it, all the way over there. We're so fast down here, and then there's just this Seraph all the way over on the other side. Because then all we're doing in 5 and 6 and 7 is removal, and playing out creatures. So I think we have to make... Well, get the Swamp out of here. We have to make 3 cuts. Dune Beetle's probably 1, at least for now. We still have 2 Laybear the Hearts that we can add to these, but I don't know that we necessarily have to right now. I think 2 is fine. These are all good. I don't even know if we need Inno-Catcher's Name. I don't know how aggressive we're going to be, although with all this removal, we might just, be able to be getting in regardless. Do we have benefits for this Vizier? It's only if it attacked or blocked. This has an enter the battlefield ability that we don't necessarily want to be recurring. This is whenever another zombie, so we could do that. But it would be on our turn, and it has flash. But I was going to say it would be on our turn at the end of our turn, but there's really not a lot of enter the battlefield abilities here. It would help with, and it had to have attacked or blocked. So it could make an opponent's creature drop a cartouche, or make one of our creatures lose -1/-1 counters, but that seems very conditional. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Vizier for now, and I think I just get rid of the Seraph then as well. So we have 7 white mana symbols, and the rest is all black with double black at top end. stuff. Because this actually basically goes here. Because it's a 3-drop when you play it, and then it's a 4-drop, here when you play it from the graveyard. But because I don't ever envision doing them both at the same time, I just don't think that it makes that much sense. Return is nice to get rid of one of your opponent's Aftermath cards or one of their Embalm cards, which might be why you would want to do them both, because you would never the creature and then return on the Embalm or on the card in the graveyard so they can't Embalm it. But yeah, it's basically just a 3-drop, which still means that, the top of our curve is Stir the Sands, which just drops 3 2/2s on the field. So yeah, I mean, this is what we're doing, I think, 23. So then we put the lands in. I don't think we put in Cradle of the Accursed. I really, really don't. What did we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white mana symbols. So with 7, what do they recommend? 4, 5 total? I don't think that's right. I think we go 6 white sources and 11 black sources. Especially because with the fan bearers, let's just add them. With the fan bearers on turn 1, it's real awkward not having the planes that we need at the time that we need them. And it's kind of upsetting. So yeah, I think this is what we're going to go with. This seems great. I'm going to save the deck, and then I'm going to cut really quickly, and we can come back at the start of round 1. All right, so we are looking for an opponent, as you can see. Let's see if this deck is good or if it's not good, because there's definitely a possibility that it's just not. But I think it's cool. We definitely don't have any kind of bombs when it comes to creatures. Lord of the Accursed is great, and Plague Belcher's nice, but and especially with, the synergy with when other zombies die for the Plague Belcher. But other than that, I'm not super optimistic. Our big bombs are our removal, right? We've got some great removal, most of it completely unconditional, so that's really nice, and hopefully we can just get scary stuff. Oh, look at that. Okay. Hopefully we can just get scary stuff off the field and then just attack with, big scary zombies. We lost the die roll. That's fine. Save all our luck for the actual game. Let's see what we get for our opening hand. Let's see what we get for our opening hand. Okay. We have 2 lands and a Lay-Bare the Heart. This hand is awful. I guess with one more we have Plague Belcher, but it's not amazing. I'm going to keep it, but I'm not super happy about it. We've been burned many, many times with keeping 2 land hands. Yes, yes. Your turn is over. Okay. Oh, well, that's a fantastic draw. I'm much happier about this hand now. Okay. Wow. What did I do to get so lucky on that one? Look at that. Oh. Oh, right. I was like, how many fan bearers were in this draft? But again, it's a league. I'll get used to it eventually. Fan bearer is pretty nice. What are you, us? Okay, well, let's find out what they're working with. We will lay bare the heart on this person. Okay. Let's see if we can't write this stuff down. So they have white cartouche, blue cartouche, angler drake, Jesus, and unwavering. Okay, that's fine, and a land, but we're gonna actually get rid of. They have 1 land in hand and 2 on the field, so they can play everything but angler drake. And we don't want to put Unwavering Initiate into their graveyard, although it would take them until turn 5 to be able to play it. And And with one more land, we get Plague Belcher. But they have Fanbearer to be tapping stuff down until then. And they have either Cartouche at this point. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the blue Cartouche. They're many turns away from Angler Drake, and I don't want them drawing into answers. I don't necessarily mind a 1/1 because we have the Fanbearer is a 2/2 in and of itself. So I'm going to choose the Cartouche. So actually we can then just get rid of blue Cartouche here as well. Okay. That's my turn. I'm not attacking. Okay, they played the Unwavering Initiate. We knew they had it. We have never. That's nice. What we do not have is a third land. Unfortunate. Well, if they try... they're white, blue. All right. Yeah, that's it for now. What else do we have to do? We can wait until their attack step and then tap their Unwavering Initiate. Yep. That's fine. And then they can attack for 2 if they really want. But they did get a third land. So they can white Cartouche and then just have 2 mana up. Or no, they played their third land. Silly me. Yeah, I take 1. Okay. Do they play... Oh, they got a True Heart Duelist. Very, very nice. It's a good blocker. At this point, it's a good attacker, but in general, it's a good blocker. Land? Binding Mummy. That's not nothing. Right now, it's kind of nothing. But, yeah, it's... We're going to take some beats next turn. Although, I guess if they don't play Cartouche on this guy, do they play Cartouche on this guy? They cycle Renewed Faith. Okay. Gain 2 life, and you have 1 mana left up for the Cartouche, but they're probably just looking for land because, as we saw, they're not doing well on land right now. We know half of their hand in White Cartouche and Angler Drake, and now we only know Angler Drake. Oh, and they put it on the True Heart Duelist. Okay, and they get a 1/1. Okay. That's fine. I guess that makes these, now these both have 3 power. I think at this point, I'm okay with trading off the Binding Mummy. If I draw a land, I have... Well, if I draw a black land, I have Never. But if I draw any land, I have Plague Belcher, which is at that point, 3/2 Menace, which isn't enough to kill anything. That's a tough choice. I think I still block here. Okay, first strike damage happens, now regular damage happens, and then they end their turn. Ugh, jeez. Okay. Well, let's get rid of this. They have Angler Drake in their hand, and we have Stone Nothing. We can't even cycle this. We can just wait until their turn, tap this guy down. That's all we've got. Yep, we'll do that. Save ourselves from taking 3. We'll take 2 instead. Yep. That happens. Okay, they get an anointed procession. Nice. For them, of course. Hey, a land. That's nice for us, though. Well, I don't want to kill my fan bearer, but they'd lose 1 life, which is irrelevant, but I'd have a 5/4, which stops everything on their field. And we know half of their hand still, because one of it's an Angler Drake, and they still are at least 2 turns away from it, if not more. So I think we Plague Belcher, kill the fan bearer, and go from there. We do have other fan bearers. We know this. Anointed Procession is good for them, or it might be. Unwavering Initiate is in the graveyard, and they can play him next turn. Back as a 3/2, which then makes 2 3/2s, but I do have a 5/4 that can block all of those guys all day. So, all right. And that's pretty much it for us. They have 3 cards in hand. We know one of them. They could have Pump for this guy. And if they buff its power once, it'll be able to kill the Plague Belcher and just first strike damage. Which means we clearly wouldn't block, but still. Gustwalker. Okay. That's actually fine for now. Combat is good. Okay, nice. Land? Not a land. Just nothing again. This would make the Plague Belcher a 7/5. Although they probably attack it as soon as we go to combat, or tap it as soon as we go to combat regardless. Which is bad for us, but we do have Never, which is helpful. Because I probably just Never the True Heart Duelist, and it's a sorcery, so it would be in our second main phase. Let's let them tap the Plague Belcher first. In case they have like a sensor or something for this. Oh. They're letting us attack. Okay, well, we can do it. And then, but Never is still a sorcery. We can Innoketra's Name if we have to try to save it, but anything that's a threat that lives just dies to Never. It's a little risky because it's literally the only thing we have unless we draw a land next turn, and then we can have Takrop Elite or cycled Stir the Sands, cast out Grimstrider. I mean, it helps us a lot. Clearly, Grimstrider is real bad right now. But I think we still attack. We can Innoketra's Name to save it if they only block it with 4 damage. Let's do it. See what happens. They clearly have to block with 2 creatures because it's Menace, but the True Heart Duelist is first strike. So they might block. They might not. They might just go to, what, 16? They don't block. Okay. Well, if they have Censor, they get us here, but otherwise I'm going to Never on the True Heart Duelist in our second main. And assume that Censor's coming. It is not. Very nice. That's awesome. Okay. That's something. They still have Angler Drake. I think I can get rid of this. I think I can remember Angler Drake. Especially since it's the only thing left. Give us some more space here. Since our hand is so stupidly full. They have a 5th land, so they can bring back the Unwavering Initiate and have 2 of them. Which I assume is what they're doing. Nope. Oh, okay. They bring back the True Heart Duelist. Okay. So they get 2 of those. That's fine. They're both 2/2s that can block an additional creature each combat. And they get the Sacred Cat. That's fine. And then they attack for what? 2, 3, 4. No exert. Yeah, that happens. Go to 10. I drew a land. Oh my goodness. All right. With 4, they have Angler Drake in hand. If they draw a land, they just play Angler Drake, bounce our Plague Belcher, and we're kind of screwed. I think what we do is return, exile their Unwavering Initiate, so they can't bring 2 of him back, and at least get a random 2/2 on the field, which can block here, here, here if they don't make it fly, and trade or, eat any of these. Cast out's fine. It's flash, so I guess there's an argument for keeping it up. But at this point, we're at 10, and they're representing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's exactly lethal. We have a blocker, but they can tap it down and then pump somehow, maybe? Or, I mean, again, Angler Drake bouncing it. Ugh. Yeah, no matter what we do, we only have 2/2s. But if they don't draw a land, they're playing 2 Unwavering Initiates. And I think I have to stop them from doing that. And this is not an instant. So I have to do this now. And I think I'm going to. I'm clearly not attacking. If they want to tap it down, that's fine. But then they don't have lethal anymore. Plus we have a zombie. And I'm going to choose the Unwavering Initiate. Gets exiled. We zombie. Plus, if we lose next turn, we haven't given them any more information, which is nice. I think that's it for us. Yeah. Their turn. They got their 6th land. We know what they have, and we know they can play it. There you go. Do they bounce the Plague Belcher or the zombie? Because bouncing the zombie means it's gone forever. Plague Belcher at least goes into our hand. It's Plague Belcher. Okay, that's fine. Zombie dies blocking here. One of the True Heart Duelists. Problem is, I'm pretty sure we just still lose. We clearly use our removal on the Angler Drake if we can. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we go to, well, we block a True Heart Duelist and go to 3. And the zombie dies. Okay. And we have nothing else this turn. We drew a Fan Bearer. That's at least a chump blocker with Plague Belcher, but they just have 4 in the air next turn. So if we don't get rid of that, we lose. But we can cast it out, but then we take 1,000,000 damage from everything else. So that's this game. Like I said, no more information is needed. Maybe we can actually draw some lands next game. Do we sideboard at all? Labor of the Heart was fine, but I don't know that we need to take anything out for it. And our mana wasn't bad in terms of color differential. It was just bad in terms of we didn't have any because we kept a 2-land hand thinking that that would be fine, and then it clearly wasn't. And we're so fast. I'm going to chalk it up to that being unlucky, and we'll see. I mean, we've got 2 more rounds after this, too, if this game also goes badly for us. But that was just really rough. We had some great stuff in our hand that we would have loved to have done, but I just didn't see it, obviously. Yeah, we don't have much sideboard here. We can add in more Lay Bare the Hearts if we really are, trying to block a lot. We can add the Dune Beetle instead of something else. But, yeah, like I said, I think we were just unlucky. Once again, we'll see if I'm right. Once our opponent, as I always say, once our opponent hopefully does not effectively sideboard against us. Let's see. We're just waiting. I might cut some of this out, I might not. We'll see how I feel and or how long our opponent takes. While we're waiting, guys, I'm going to say this probably a million times in all these videos, but let us know what you think of these videos in the comments down below. I love making them, but they do cost money. And so if you guys like them, we don't mind continuing to do them. But if they're boring for you, let us know. If you're not interested in hearing my opinions or you don't think I'm a good drafter, I will not be offended. I appreciate feedback like that. So, but if this is helpful to you, let me know that as well. There's a like and a dislike button that can allow you to express those feelings as well. But if you do either like or dislike, let us know why. We like I said, we love hearing feedback like that. So that would be really important to us. It's valuable to be able to allow us to keep making stuff that you guys like just as much as we like. Because, if I like it and I'm sitting here, but I'm doing it for myself, then, I don't have to worry about recording it. But if you guys want to see it, then it's something that I like doing. So I want to know what you guys think. They are taking the full 2 minutes or whatever it was for sideboarding, which is fine. As I always say, they have that right. I'm not upset about it. Okay. Let's see. If they ask us, which they are going to, we're going to play first. Yes, please. Oh, man. This hand is real bad. Oh, we're so fast. Why are these hands garbage? 5 lands. I'm going to mulligan to 6, and I'm going to regret it. But Lord of the Accursed is nothing, and if they kill it, then we just have nothing. We can get rid of their biggest threat that they play in the first 4 or so turns, but I'm not happy about it. We're going to mulligan. This I'll keep. This is much, much better. Sure, we'll keep this on top. That's fine. Totally, totally fine. We'll play a land, and we're done. Moving on. Well, our clock looks like garbage compared to our opponents. We had a lot of thinking to do with no lands last game. It was very easy for them. They were like, oh yeah, this, play this, play this, play this. Kill you. Did they walk away or what's going on? We have a full art swamp. That's something. Oh, plains. Nothing. Okay. Plains as well. Binding Mummy. Unfortunately, the non-bow of Takropoli being the only other creature in my hand. I'm pretty sure maybe the only non-zombie in our deck. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. All right. What do you got? On 2, True Heart Duelist. Okay. It's not a terrible cast out target. We need 2 more turns for it. And Grimstrider is not bad here either, because by the time we play it, it'll be low enough where it'll be pretty strong. I'm not going to attack. I don't see a need. If they want to attack on their turn, that's fine for them. We can go to 18. Okay. There we go. No, thank you. Okay. Third land. Do they attack? I assume they do. Okay. Because, of course, they're more than happy to have that in their graveyard. Instead, I'm more than happy to be at... Okay. Fanbearer is fine. They still have 2, but it's summoning sick. Okay, there's Gustwalker. It's a lot of threats. We draw a Miasmic Mummy. We play our 4th land. Question is, do we keep up Cast Out, or do we play a 3/3 Grimstrider? It's not a zombie. This would be a zombie, but it'll only tap something for this turn. So we could play the Miasmic Mummy, tap the Gustwalker, and attack for 2, but I don't think... It's not an effective use of our mana because we have 3 4-drops in hand. But 2, it's also really not worth it to get in 2 damage or have them block with their Fanbearer if they want it to die. Plus, I don't know what I discard here. I think I'm going to Grimstrider, and I'm not going to attack this turn. So, yeah, I'll play Grimstrider. It is a 3/3. Which I assume if they're going to tap something down, that it'll be the Grimstrider. It is not a zombie, so Binding Mummy doesn't activate. And even if we don't draw lands for a while, we've got 2 other things to do. Okay. Let's end our turn. No, thank you. All right. What are they doing? Let's see. Anything at all? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. An Aven Initiate. Not a bad card. It's a flyer, which Gustwalker can be as well. Which I assume they do. Just make it flying right now. And that's all they're attacking with. Okay. So if that's their MO, which it looks like it is just to attack with things in the air, then it looks like Aven Initiate is a really nice cast-out target. And Takrop Elite will be there to not really pressure the... Yeah, that's okay. It's every other turn. They have 3 cards in hand. I could do both. Lay Bare the Heart and Miasmic Mummy, tapping the True Heart Duelist when the Mummy comes into play, and attacking with the Grimstrider, which would then be a 4/4, which they could only block with the Aven Initiate and the Fanbearer, which I'd be more than happy to trade that way. So let's... Oh, actually, I'd have to discard a card too. I think at this point I'd probably just discard the Elite. So let's play Miasmic Mummy. And since my math is off, ignore almost everything I said about the Grimstrider, because I forgot that I'd also be discarding a card here. So yeah, Binding Mummy. We'll tap the True Heart Duelist. And then Miasmic Mummy. Triggers, and I'll discard Takrab Elite. After our opponent makes decisions. Yep, like I said, discard Takrab Elite. They discarded a land. Always yes. From Binding Mummy. Okay. And then I'll Laybare the Heart, which is good because they got rid of a land. So I'll look at their last 2 cards. And I whiff. But they're flooded. So that's fine. And now I can attack for 5. Which I definitely do. Because as I was incorrectly pointing out before, now they don't have enough power on board to kill it, so they're just taking 5. So we're both at 15. I'm more than happy to block with this Miasmic Mummy on something. I'm assuming they're just attacking with the flyer to take me to 12. We shall see. Okay. No blocks, because it's a flyer. That's fine. We can't do both, but Cast Out is better on Aven Initiate since it has Embalm, and they're flooded. And the Splendid Agony is better on the Gustwalker. So the question is, what do we do first? And I think, honestly, what we do first is go to combat, see if they tap our Grimstrider, probably attack with Miasmic Mummy, and see where we go from there. I mean, they'd be very foolish to not tap our Grimstrider. Yeah, that's fine. That happens, I'll still attack with Miasmic Mummy. And if you trade off the True Heart Duelist for it, am I okay with that? I think I am. Because right now, True Heart Duelist doesn't represent anything for us. Except, yes, you kill my 2/2, but the flyers are the problem here. So, that's fine. I have... These are both things that I can do on their turn. Wait for some more information. If they replay True Heart Duelist, that's fine. If they play Anointed Procession, I can cast out the Anointed Procession. They're attacking for... Alright, so what I think I do here then is take this opportunity to Splendid Agony the Gustwalker before its ability goes off to kill it and take 3. Either way, I was taking 3, but yeah, this way, yeah, it's easier for me then to just cast out the Aven Initiate or save it for if they play something else now, if they're, again, not flooding. They play the True Heart Duelist back. That's fine. Okay. We drew a land. Okay. We don't really have anything to be playing from our graveyards. Do we just cast out the Fanbearer here? I don't think so. I think we just go to combat, let them tap the Grimstrider, not attack, end our turn and just hold up cast out for either the Aven Initiate, which is probably just what's going to happen right now. Yeah, that's fine. They're attacking with the True Heart Duelist as well. Am I okay with going to 7 here? I think I am. Because I think at this point, they're going to have to decide whether it makes sense for them to save up 2 mana, or maybe they can play something, maybe they can't. They can make a zombie, we know that. Okay. I'm not blocking. I'd rather keep that back. I'll go to 7, that's fine. Let's see. Nope, no blocks. Do you play something? You have 7 lands. You can make a zombie for 3. You could play another Gustwalker. Okay. That's something. I drew another Grimstrider. So I just have 2 5/5s on the field. I don't do that yet. And it's not a zombie, so it doesn't matter for Binding Mummy. Let me just go to combat. Let them tap my Grimstrider. And then I'm going to take 3 next turn, but I'm clearly blocking the True Heart Duelist. Unless they tap and then attack. And then I'll take 5 and go to 2, which would be unfortunate. Yeah, that's fine. Go through attacks. Play the Grimstrider out. And now we have 2 6/6s on the field. One's tapped, though. Okay, that's fine. Gustwalker does not have Embalm. And they have no cards left in hand. So they are top decking just as much as we are. They're playing a zombie. That's fine. They're trying to go wide, which makes sense. The question is, do they tap the Grimstrider before attacking? No, they don't. They're just attacking for 3. And there's nothing I can do about that. Maybe we draw removal. We don't draw removal. Well, we're not taking anything in the air next turn. We're also not attacking this turn. They're going to tap something regardless. So we can block 1 thing, which would be this, and take 2, 3, 4. So we block with a Binding Mummy. Okay. Yep. We're still alive, just not good. It's not a good situation for us. Which is unfortunate. We're not attacking. But yeah, if they tap the Grimstrider with the Fanbearer, we just block, the True Heart Duelist or the zombie or something. Okay, they draw 2 cards. They have 3 mana, but 4 if they play a land this turn. Okay, they're just going to attacks. They end their turn. Okay. That was an interesting choice. Well, I'm going to play a land. I'm going to tap a white and play a Fanbearer to Binding Mummy tap the Fanbearer, which presumably they're just going to respond by tapping a Grimstrider, but that's fine. Yep. I still don't attack. Do I lose? We have 3 blockers for their 3, but they're tapping 1, attacking for 3. So yeah, I think we just lose here. Okay, Cartouche makes another creature. Oh, and that's it. Then it's 4 damage. Great. Well, we lose. That was really disappointing. That's kind of the worst. We had an actual chance. All right, well, I'm going to cut here. We'll be back to play our next League match at some point. So we'll see if this deck is just bad or if it was just bad luck in that one instance. So guys, we're back. I know for you it's only been seconds. For us, it's actually been a little while. And I say us because I'm actually here with...
Amy.
And...
Dave.
So hopefully they can help me... oh my goodness, that's very loud. Hopefully they can help me get a little bit luckier. I'm going to join this match. At least with my land draws. Like I said and have said, I think this deck is good. But if I don't see any lands, no deck is good. Like, for example, this is a sweet hand because I can play Fanbearer on turn 1, and any land gets us Cursed Minotaur, Blighted Bat, and then another land would get us Grimstrider, and we can cycle this if we have to for 4. This seems like a great hand, and I'm going to keep it. But if we don't draw a third land, this hand is garbage. So we really need to hope to draw a third land. For now, our opponent is in part white. And that's fine. They end their turn. We drew a 5-drop because of course we did. We still have 2 more turns to draw that third land. And we're going to pass our turn because next turn we can tap the Sacred Cat. That's going to
Try and kill you?
Well, right now it would be silly for it to attack, I think. Yeah, because we would just block and kill it. Mm-hmm. We drew another 3-drop.
It's too bad he doesn't have Sahili Ra.
It's not that cat, but yes, that would be pretty awesome. Okay, we're done. We can tap something down on their turn. They have 3. Must be nice. Hopefully we get 3. That'd be so good. Oh. Well, now our Fanbearer is dead, so we might as well tap the cat. Because it's all we can do. And then Fanbearer dies.
Again.
Whatever.
Oh, thank God. Jesus. All right. So the question is, I'm pretty sure we just play Cursed Minotaur here. If we draw a land, there's an argument for Blighted Bat or Grimstrider. Probably Blighted Bat. But I think next turn, if we don't draw a land, we just play Lord of the Accursed, and then we can attack for 4 with Menace, which would be pretty sweet since this is one of their blockers. And they play a Those Who Serve. Yeah. That seems okay. All right. We did not draw land, but we did draw the other Grimstrider, which I'm just going to put over here, along with the final reward, because it's 5 mana. I'll play Lord of the Accursed, and then I'll attack. If they want to double block, because they have to because of Menace, if they want to double block, I will happily kill the Those Who Serve over the Sacred Cat, and they can gain a life. That's totally fine with me. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go for it. Why not? Yep, because we have lots of other stuff coming up. So, they don't block, they just take 4. That's what I like to see.
People taking it.
Jesus.
From a Minotaur.
A cursed zombie Minotaur.
That sounds pretty hot.
All right, so here's a Retcrop Spearmaster. It's a 3-1, but if they attack and keep it tapped down, it becomes a 4-1 with First Strike, which is better than everything we have right now. But that's fine. That's a pretty sweet final reward target. I was going to say we have 2 turns for that, and then that's if we draw land, which we just did draw a land. For now, I think that we play the Blighted Bat, give it haste, and attack with it.
Yay.
Because otherwise we could play a Grimstrider, but we have 4 cards in hand, which means it would be a 2-2. And then when we draw a card next turn, if it's still alive, it would be a 1-1. So I think that's a little too slow for us. So for now, I'm going to tap 3 for the Blighted Bat. And then I'm going to activate it. I probably won't attack with the Cursed Minotaur. Oh, I forgot. I'm actually attacking for 3 because it's a zombie. But yeah, I probably won't attack with the Curse Minotaur this turn, only because it's a pretty easy trade for them with the Spearmaster. I will then use the haste ability and attack for 3 in the air, which can't be blocked, at least. Yeah, nope, just can't be blocked because they have no lands untapped either. So that's fine with me. That's it, and that's my turn. 1 more land, we have Final Reward. 2 more lands, we have Stir the Sands. And Stir the Sands would be amazing here because it would be 6 mana to make 3 3/3 zombies, thanks to them getting pumped by this Lord of the Accursed.
There are 3 threes in that sentence.
That's true. And there are more 3s on the creatures because it would actually be 6 3s. Plus, this has 3 toughness, this has 3 toughness, and this has 3 power.
Good lord.
And our opponent is, at this point, figuring out what they want to do. And somebody outside is deciding to mow their lawn, which is super awesome. Thanks, friend. All right.
It's Nicobolus rumbling under the ground or something.
All right, so they're going to be able to shrink something, and this is going to become a 3/5 with lifelink, which sucks. But what do they give a -1/-1 counter to? I assume this. Wow, they made those who serve a threat. I really would never have considered those who serve to be anything that I cared about at all. But now if I draw a land, I'm probably just exiling it. And I'm also not blocking it if it attacks this turn. Yeah, they put it on the Lord of the Accursed. That makes sense. Lord of the Accursed is a 1/2 now. They go to combat. Do they exert this guy too? I'm just going to take 7 this turn. Nope. Just 3. But they go to 16 and I go to 17 because I'm, like I said, not blocking. Okay. That's totally fine. And I drew a land.
Do it.
Well, it's an instant, so I'm going to actually wait. I will do it, but I can do it on their turn just in case they play like a 4-drop that's insane, like a Baleful Amonkhet or something that I want to get rid of even more than this.
I like that.
I love Baleful Amonkhet if it's on my side of the field. Because it's really good. Right now, I'm going to go to combat, and this time I'm going to attack with the Menace and the Blighted Bat, because if they double block for Menace, I am more than happy to trade off my Curse Minotaur for both of their those who serve creatures, because then I can also Final Reward and get rid of their last one, again, depending on what they play next turn. So I'm going to attack, and that'll be it. 7 damage. Coming at you. Do you take 7? I assume they don't. I was going to say at least... Oh, nope. They have to double block if they're double blocking. That's awesome. Okay. Assign blocking order. Sure. I will deal the damage to the Spearmaster first, because I don't like it. And they take 3 in the air. I guess it doesn't technically matter, but yeah, we'll do it that way. Okay. And so that means that it's 14 to 17, and I'm going to end my turn, like I said, with Final Reward, ready and waiting. If they just go right to combat, then it gets Final Rewarded. If they play something first, then we at least consider it. Nope, they're going to combat. Yay. No blue means I doubt you're countering it. Exiled. What are you playing for 3 mana? You can get your Sacred Cat back for 1. Nope. A Devoted Cropmate. You may exert it as it attacks, and if they do, they get a creature with converted mana cost 2 or less from their graveyard to the battlefield, which counts not the Spearmaster, because that's 3 or less, but it gets the Sacred Cat back, which you can just do for a mana anyway, but I guess it recurs it a couple of different ways, so I guess that makes sense. If we draw a land, we just have zombies. Ooh, a Plague Belcher. Okay.
What plague is that? It just looks like an oil spill.
It's part green somehow, even though he's a black creature. Maybe it's poisonous, and I think that's what they're going for. Plague, poison, whatever. I'm actually going to hold off on the Plague Belcher. I'm going to play the Grimstrider this turn, because now I'll have a 3/3, which I don't mind trading off with the Devoted Cropmate. Plus, they're gonna, if they attack with it, they'll use it to get back the cat, and that's it, which is fine with me, because the cat just gets blocked by this really easily. So I think, and plus, the Grimstrider would not be a bad target for Plague Belcher once I get my hand down far enough. So let's go with attacks first. Okay, and I'll attack for 3. So they can go to 11 because they have no flying blockers. Which they take. Perfect. And now I'll play. Do I leave a white open? I don't know that it matters. Whatever. That's fine. Grimstrider. A 3/3 Grimstrider. On my turn it becomes a 2/2 because I'll draw a card, but like hopefully it's a land. And then I can play land, Stir the Sands, and then it would be a 4/4. But if I have to block this turn, I'm blocking this turn. So, 3 mana for another cartouche. So something else gets a -1/-1 counter again, and this becomes a 4/3 with lifelink, which can still die to the Grimstrider unless they target the Grimstrider with the -1/-1 counter, which actually would not be a bad strategy for them. I assume they're just going to put it on here to try to slowly whittle away at it and eventually kill it. But, nope, they put it on the Grimstrider so they can attack and it won't die. Which I think is fine. Do I block? They're going to go to 15 and I'm going to go to 13 if they attack and they get the Sacred Cat back. I think this makes Plague Belcher a hell of a lot worse. That's unfortunate.
Worse good, worse bad.
Worse for us, because it's putting more -1/-1 counters on things, which if you put it on here, it dies. If you put it on here, it dies. It just kind of sucks. Yes, you're choosing the Sacred Cat. That's fine. I am going to not block. I'm going to take 4, go to 13, and they get to go to 15. That's fine, because this is now exerted and tapped down even on their next turn, and I got a Binding Mummy. That's not good enough, except... Actually, no, that's fine. We can play Plague Belcher and Binding Zombie. And the Plague Belcher will just have to put the counters on himself, but Binding Mummy comes down... And then Plague Belcher comes down, and then I can attack for 6. Yeah, it'd be pretty sweet. Plus, with Plague Belcher on the field, if any of my zombies die, my opponent, or our opponent, loses 1 life. And they can't block, because I'm going to tap their Sacred Cat, since Binding Mummy says, whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you may tap target artifact or creature. And then Plague Belcher does that to itself. I'm going to say always yield, and always yes, and always yield. So that then we're just done. Next turn, worst comes to worst, it's Grimstrider. If we don't have another land, but if we have a land, it can be Stir the Sands. We're going to attacks. And we're going to attack with everything that we can, which is... No, I was like, the Binding Mummy can attack? No, I just couldn't see the little thing. So actually we're attacking for 7. They can go to 8. And they have a 1/1 next turn that untaps because the 4/3 with lifelink does not. And we also have a 4/3. But this one has Menace. Which is hilarious because this can give zombies Menace, and 2 of the zombies that we've played so far this game have Menace in and of themselves. Are they attacking? I would doubt it, because I'd just block with this Binding Mummy. But I guess they could have something. Why did they go to combat? That's weird. Or why are they taking so long before choosing attackers?
Maybe they messed up.
Maybe. Yeah, well, they ended their turn. They have 4 lands out? Alright, well, I have a zombie, which I'm going to play, which Binding Mummy allows me then to tap the Sacred Cat. And then I'll play a Grimstrider as well to make my Grimstrider bigger. And then attack for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I just win. Depending on what they have, of course. But, yeah. We're going to play a Grimstrider, which makes the Grimstrider bigger. We're going to go to combat. And we're going to use the good old attack with all creatures button. Yay, everybody has fun. 15 damage coming at you. You have 4 mana. So you untap it and prevent all damage that would be dealt to it this turn. So what are you going to block? This. So you take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not enough unless you have another one. And even then, I still don't know that it matters. I guess they're gaining the life too, but I don't... Alright, hold on. Let's see what happens. That's fine. Prevent all damage that we dealt to it. You gain 4 life, but I don't think that it works the way you think it does. Let's see. Yes, no. They're declaring blockers. What? Why would you block a 1/2? It doesn't die and take 4 power away from everybody. Because he doesn't have first strike, right? Yeah, so then that in no way works the way you think it does. We just win. And they lose lots of life. Or they lose a life because the zombie died. Okay, I'll begin sideboarding against this opponent's deck. That was interesting.
Do you need to?
I don't know. It's always important to at least look. Mm-hmm. Mainly in white, because our black is, lay bare the hearts, which I don't think we need more of. I think this deck was fine. It actually did what it was supposed to, even though we were still a little short on land, because we needed 6 for the Stir the Sands, which is basically the top of our curve, because we talked about this before, but this is a 3-drop because you play it for 3, and then you can later play it for 4, which means this is the most expensive card in our deck, and it was the only thing we really couldn't play. So we're going to go ahead and probably just submit this. We saw cartouches, but there's really not much we could do about that. I guess, you know what? Technically, there's this. If one or more -1/-1 counters would be put on a creature you control, that many -1/-1 counters -1 are put on it instead. And so we might take that as a creature and put it in place of Lay Bare the Heart, or in Oketra's name. I'll say Lay Bare the Heart, and we'll try that. We'll see. If it was a bad choice, we can always fix it going into Game 3, but with the counters that they were putting on our stuff, with between Splendid Agony and the 2 cartouches, I think it's relevant. Plus, as we saw, our Plague Belcher puts counters on our stuff too. So we have 2 lands. We have a 2-drop, another 2-drop, and a 3-drop, which means, again, as long as we get a land in the first 3 turns, this hand is good. That does not mean that this hand is good, because, as we've seen, we could just not get a 3rd land until turn 7. Alright, so they have a Sacred Cat. Do I get a Fanbearer turn 1? There are 3 in the deck. It's definitely a possibility. Nope, but I did get a land, and it's a full art. Ooh. Alright, so we'll play a land. I'll probably Lay Bare the Heart at this point.
Why not?
Well, I mean, obviously well, as opposed to Miasmic Mummy. Yeah, the question is what... Oh, fine, I'll take 1. Congrats, you go to 21. What do I discard with Miasmic Mummy, though? I want to see what they're working with, and that's what Lay Bare the Heart's for. And you want to play it on turn 2, because then you get as much information as possible. Ooh, a Vizier of Remedies. Very nice. That's a good 2-drop. We have 3 2-drops now. Well, two 2-drop creatures, but yeah, we're going to Lay Bare the Heart on our opponent, see what they have, and make them discard something good that they have. Like, we don't care as much about Cartouche, or do we? No, we do. Well,
you have the cleric specifically for that, right?
Right, but they can play it next turn, but if they do, they play it on a 1/1 without, without any value for it, so I doubt they will. I'm sure they'll play the Retcrop Spearmaster next turn. And neither of these have Embalm, which means it's one of these 2 creatures is what we're picking. So this would become a 4/1 first striker, which would, I guess, be fine, versus a Top Crop Elite, which pumps their entire team and is a flyer. So I'd much rather get rid of the flyer. So we're going to choose that, because at least the 3/1 we might occasionally be able to deal with. And unfortunately, that's our turn.
It will be your downfall.
The Vizier is fine. We have 3 mana, so we might do Minotaur, but no, because the Spearmaster is a 3/1, which I assume they're playing, yeah, because now we know that they have it. They had 2 lands, which they just played 1 of, so now we know that they have 1 land. The Cartouche, okay, so we don't block because we have nothing to block with. Yep, we take 1, they go to 22, and they end their turn, and we draw another land, which is a full art land. What do we play? I think that we play the Cursed Minotaur here. The problem is if they exert this, we're taking 4, which would be fine, because then we have 2 turns until it can attack again, and the Minotaur is a nice block on the Sacred Cat, and even if they Cartouche on the Ret Crop Spearmaster, it doesn't kill the Minotaur. It's kind of bad that we didn't play the Vizier first, but I'd rather have a little bit more of a threat on the board against kind of making this have to exert. They play their 4th land. They have 3 cards in hand, 1 of which is a Cartouche. They're just going to combat. That's interesting. Okay. So they exert this. It's a 4/1 first striker, which I will not block because I don't want to just throw my creature away here. Which means that it happens. I take 4 and go to 14, which is not amazing. Do they play Cartouche now? Okay. They play the Top Crop, another Top Crop Elite. I was like, oh, that's fine. We have removal in here somewhere. I know we do. And they're going to want to wait on using this ability until the Spearmaster is back, I assume. Plus, now we can play 2 2-drops in a turn.
You got your bat.
And I got the Blighted Bat. But I think I'm going to do the Vizier and the Miasmic Mummy here, which means that we're discarding Stir the Sands, unfortunately. Because I think Blighted Bat is good to be able to block here and kill the Elite. Because it gives... Oh, it gives all creatures? Creatures you control get +1/+1. Alright, let's... Or do I discard Blighted Bat, then? The one thing I know is I don't discard Grimstrider. But I play the Vizier, which works because now their Cartouche does nothing to our creatures, which is important because this thing has 1 toughness. Miasmic Mummy comes in. We each discard a card. They have 2 cards in hand, and we only know the Cartouche. I think I'm going to discard the Bat. It's probably the wrong choice. I'm aware of that. No, we'll do Stir the Sands. The problem is Blighted Bat doesn't effectively block Top Crop Elite, but we still have to wait at least 2 turns for Stir the Sands, because we could cycle it and get 1 zombie, but that's not really worth it. So I think we'll discard Stir the Sands. They discard nothing yet. They discard something. They discard a final reward. Wow. Okay. I guess because they don't have 5 lands, maybe. All right, we're going to combat. Do I attack? I think I can attack with the Cursed Minotaur. The problem is... Oh, yeah, because this doesn't untap next turn, so I'm absolutely attacking with the Cursed Minotaur here. Because I can't block the flyer, and the 1/1 can get blocked by this 2/2, no problem. Or if it's a 2/2, I'll block it with this 2/2 as well. But I can attack with a 3/2 Menace, and if they choose to block, I'll kill this Top Crop Elite immediately and happily. Actually, they both... What? Okay. That's amazing. No, choosing not to. Realizing that would make no sense. Okay, so you take 3. That's fine. And then on our turn, we can play Grimstrider, depending on what we draw. But we can play Grimstrider, which would be at worst a 4/4, if not a 5/5, if we maybe draw a land. And then this turn they could attack and exert, but I feel like that would be wrong because they want to, like I said, they want to wait until this guy is untapped to make this a 5/2 first striker. There's Cartouche, make this a 3/3. Can't shrink one of our things. Thank you, Vizier of Remedies. That's not how that works. Okay. I mean, they're targeting it, I guess, to make themselves feel better, but it doesn't work because Vizier.
I could do if I could.
Yeah, exactly. I think they just want us to know that they want that to be what's happening. Do they exert? They exerted. That's fine. Sure, they're gaining life, but now this is tapped down, and then we will block that way. Okay. Very good. And then, Jesus, really loud outside. Sorry, everybody. I don't know if you can hear that, but if you can, I apologize. They have sent me a message.
Go to hell.
So you have a... Huh.
A podcast?
I mean...
Yes. You're on Candid Camera.
All right, we're gonna play a swamp. We have 5, so we'll play the Grimstrider. Do we do that now, though? Yeah, it doesn't matter. They have 1 land open. I'm not that concerned. Grimstrider it is. So a 5/5. All right, we'll look at that in a second here. We will go to combat and attack for 5. Take you to 20. We're at 10. Okay. And we'll end our turn while we see what they said to us. I don't exactly know what that means, but okay. Yeah, I don't know what that means. That's fine. All right, we are going to... They're playing an Anointer Priest. Let's see. Whenever a creature token enters a benefit you control. Yeah, so if they embalm stuff like the Sacred Cat, they gain a life. There's a lot of life gain going on. That's good. Very, very good. They'll embalm this guy. Like I said, that's fine. They gain a life. Very nice. And what happens for us? A Festering Mummy. Okay. So the nice thing about this Grimstrider being a 5/5 is, even if they attack with this, and even if they exert it, it's a 4/1 first striker this turn. So we can block it with this 5/5 and have no issues. If they use this, it then becomes a 5/1 first strike, which is a problem. But if we can get everything out of our hand, then this is a 6/6 like this. Then this is a 6/6 and it's not a problem. They don't have any flyers, so we just attack, or we play a Blighted Bat, give it haste, attack for 2. Because we're, like I said, we're not blocking the Talkrop Elite, unfortunately. Even though it has lifelink, we can attack with this Menace, and if he wants to block with the Spearmaster, that's fine as well. Okay. Alright. We're going to attack with the Menace and the Flyer. Oh, we didn't give it haste. Can we do that?
Oh god.
Damn it. We got distracted by them talking to us. Alright, that's fine. My mistake.
Which we appreciate.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if you're watching this, let us know in the comments. But yeah, that's totally fine. So we attack for 3. Let's see if and how they block. They do not. Okay. They take 3, go to 18. That's my fault for not doing the Blighted Bat thing properly. I will pay more attention next time. This is definitely a close one. Okay. We are... Oh, they're going to combat. Okay. So this is going to be a big turn for them and a scary turn for us. Oh. Okay. That's all that's happening. So we take 3, they gain 3. So we go to 7, and they go to 21, which is a problem. We need to start drawing some threats, some stuff, maybe.
Fanbearer. Fanbearer.
Fanbearer is a little slow, but it's possible. All right, so they're cycling this because they only have 4 lands, so that makes sense. They play Those Who Serve. Okay, that's totally fine. They end their turn. We draw a Festering Mummy. That's not nothing. We can actually use that to kill the Rep Crop Spearmaster.
Yay.
Because if the Festering Mummy blocks and dies, it gives this a -1/-1 counter, and that will kill it at any point after pumps go away. Okay, we're going to keep playing regardless of what that was, and we are going to go to combat. We attack with the bat. That's... Do we attack with the bat? Do we attack with anything? I don't think we do. Oh, wow, we have like no time left. All right. Well, we're going to have to speed it up a little bit then. We are going to...
Red cards, so.
Yeah, I know. We're not being that fast. Problem is... I guess... We attack here. Jesus Christ. And see what happens. They don't block. Okay. Well, I don't like winning to a concession, but it would. I'll take it because we get, prizes and stuff for it. Okay, so they're swinging out because they might even just be able to win on this turn because the Top Crop Elite pumps the whole team by 1. And gets in for 4 damage in and of itself, which means we have to stop. We can let this through. Okay. All right, so this happens, I don't care. When we go to blocks, nope, still declare attackers. Now we block. We block this way to get rid of all that damage. This way to get rid of all that damage. This way to kill this thing. And this way to kill that, which means we take 4. which is fine. They gain 6, which is quite a bit. First strike damage goes off, which means Festering Mummy shrinks this now. Yes, I'll use Festering Mummy's ability, of course. And then everything but my Grimstrider dies on my side. And nothing on their side dies until the end of their turn, when then that dies. Oh, and they conceded. They said that they would. They said that they would. I obviously had to play as if they weren't going to do that, but they did. So that's that match. We are going to cut, and we will be back to you guys in a little bit. So we're back. It has not been that long once again for you, but it's been a while for us, but it is still Joe, Amy, and Dave, and we are going into our third and final match.
Oh my god.
It's different. It's different than it was last time. Was weird. We have no black, really. White is our splash. This is real bad.
And we're fighting Blau.
I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I kind of have to. Like, any black mana would be sweet, but we can't rely on that. So I'm gonna mulligan this. That's much better. Much, much, much better. We keep it, and we keep the Plague Belcher on top as well. Perfect. Oh, they go first. Well, they're part white. That means very little to us at this exact moment. But, hey, look, a Plague Belcher. I'm going to play the Fan Bearer off of Full Art Plains. Because why wouldn't I? And then I'll end my turn. I'm not going to use Inno-Catcher's Name on turn 2. But I might... I'll just leave up the 2 mana for the Fan Bearer. Maybe I just attack. Yeah, I'll just attack. Take 1.
Attack with your fan.
Yeah, exactly. They slightly caress you with their fan. You're uncomfortable, and you take a damage.
It's not hot enough for a fan today.
All right, that's the end of their turn. Oh, we drew a 2-drop. That sucks. That's fine. We'll play... I guess we'll play Plague Belcher. Do we play Plague Belcher over... Next turn we can play Blighted Bat with haste. So I think we just do Plague Belcher this turn. Effectively use all of our mana. The only problem is then we're putting the counters on itself, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll put it on itself. That's fine. It's a 3/2 menace. That's not the best in the world, but this is a zombie, and so is this, and so is this. So if it dies, we will be able to make our opponent lose life for it. I forgot to attack, but that's fine. That's silly of me. They played start, so they have 2 1/1s. Oh, okay. So they could have done it if I had attacked, and they would have blocked and killed my Fan Bearer. But they didn't. But now they can they cast Finish? Yeah, they can cast Finish. Sacrifice one of their warriors and destroy... Nope, they'll play a Soul Stinger instead. Okay. That is fine. And do they just kill one of their warriors, or do they put it on the Soul Stinger? They put it on a warrior. Okay, so a warrior dies. They have a 4/5 Soul Stinger. That's fine. They go to combat and can attack for 1, but why would they? Lay Bare the Heart with 4 cards in their hand. So we could Lay Bare the Heart and then Miasmic Mummy. Or we could Miasmic Mummy and then Lay Bare the Heart. I think this is a zombie and it has Menace. So I think we attack first. If we have to play Inno-Catcher's Name to kill the Soul Stinger, we do it. Which would make the Plague Belcher a 5/3 to deal enough damage to kill the Soul Stinger. And then we have the other 2 left up for Lay Bare the Heart or Miasmic Mummy. So we're definitely going to do that first. We will go to combat. They have no mana open. So we can just attack for 3. Do they block? I would probably block in their situation, but they, again, obviously don't know what we have. And we're in the same colors, white and black.
Black and yellow.
But we're the zombie synergy, and they're not. Do they block? They don't block. Even better.
He doesn't.
That's fine. I get to Labor the Heart and Miasmic Mummy this turn. Like I said, though, the question is, which do we do first? I'm going to Labor the Heart first and see what we're working with. See what they're working with. Another Soul Stinger. 2 compulsory rests. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and then we can tap 2, sack that creature, and gain 2 life. Or a Cartouche of Solidarity to make another warrior with Vigilance, and the creature gets +1/+1 and has first strike. I'm going to get rid of this Soul Stinger. Because that's kind of... Another 4/5 is kind of dangerous. Otherwise, they can make 2 of our creatures unable to attack or block, and give something +1/+1 in first strike. Which on a 4/5 is really dangerous. A 5/6 first striker is no joke. So I'm going to make them get rid of the Soul Stinger. Then with 2 compulsory rests and a Cartouche, I can Miasmic Mummy. The problem is I'm then sacking Inoketra's name or getting rid of Inoketra's name. I could also just leave up the 2 for the Fan Bearer, so I might just do that. They can do both compulsory rests, although I don't imagine they'd want to use both, because that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Especially on a Fan Bearer?
Well, yeah, exactly. But I am going to use the Fan Bearer to tap down the Soul Stinger, as they are compulsory resting, which is fine. Yep. That happens. They have a 1/1 Vigilance. Now it's a 2/2 Vigilance first strike, and they have another 1/1 Vigilance Warrior on top of that, which is still fine, and they can attack for 2. That's fine. I'll go to 18. I'd like to draw something of relevance this turn. Maybe. Final Reward is relevant. We don't have the land for it, but it's relevant. This guy just straight up can't attack or block, but I can tap 2, sack it, and gain life. I think for now I'm going to play the Bat for 3, give it haste for 1, and actually remember to do that this time, and attack for 2 in the air, and start doing some damage that way.
He's probably going to use the other arrest.
On it, yeah, but he can't do it this turn. He'll have to wait till next turn because it's an enchantment. So, and I'd much rather he put it on this than something else that we get that's more dangerous later.
Cool.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 for the Blighted Bats. 1 to give it haste. And then go to combat. I will clearly not attack with this because they have a 2/2 first striker, but it can't block flying. So just get hit for 2 in the air. And then our second main phase is nothing as well, so we will just end our turn. Yeah, another land gets us final reward for either the Soul Stinger or the Warrior. It's probably just the Soul Stinger because it's a 4/5. Yeah. They have 5 mana open, but we know they have Compulsory Rest as one of their 2 cards. So I'm going to block their 1/1 at least and only take 6. I won't let them get 1 free point of damage in. Or I'll make them use their combat trick to kill a Fan Bearer. Nope. Okay. Fine. So we go to 16. Oh, that was from the first strike damage. We take another 4 and go to 12. Okay. That's fine. Fan Bearer is still alive. They're in combat still. I don't think they know that. They don't know that. There you go. Get out of combat first. Now attack. Or play whatever you're playing for 3. It's an Unwavering Initiate. And they still have 2 mana up for Compulsory Rest. So they have a 3/2 Vigilance creature. That's fine. And they Compulsory Rest on the bat. No, they don't. They don't Compulsory Rest on anything. Interesting. Interesting choice. Okay. Well, we drew a land. So we have Final Reward if we want it. I think for now, we'll go to combat and attack for 2 because it's still flying. And we will leave up Final Reward to use on anything that we feel is threatening to us, which is just gonna be this 4/5. But despite the fact that this has Embalm, so if it dies, it can come back, this still represents more damage over time. So we're going to end our turn now. Yeah, and we can always sack the Plague Belcher to gain more life, but I think its ability is relevant of whenever another zombie we control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So we can start blocking a little bit more aggressively, knowing that, and trying to trade things off, but then they're also losing life. Because we're even now in life total, which is not really going to be the case going forward, but I think we're gonna Final Reward this Soul Stinger, and then I think we keep the Fanbearer. I think we got to get this Miasmic Mummy out soon. They're tapping 3. They top-decked something because we know they still have that other Compulsory Rest. Finish. Oh, okay. Well, they sacked their Unwavering Initiate to destroy target creature, which is going to be the Fanbearer. Which is fine. I think we're just going to exile the 4/5, take 2, go to 10. They lose 1 when this dies, and they go to 11. The only thing I'm thinking about is whether to use its ability, but then we can't do anything else except sack this, which we don't want to do. So I think in response to this is when I do Final Reward, because I don't see any other time that, it could be as they go to combat, but that's going to be in a few seconds regardless. So that happens, then that happens. They lose a life from the Plague Belcher, and it's always yielding to it because, yes. Then they go to combat. Like I said, attack for 2. We go to 10, and it's 10 to 11. So we're still relatively even. We're using our spells effectively. We're using our creatures effectively. So yeah, this is fine.
This is nice.
They play a land, and they have Compulsory Rest, but they're not using it still. Well, Cast Out's a really good card because we cast it on the Warrior, and the Warrior does not actually go under Cast Out and can't come back if they destroy Cast Out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have enough to do a second thing, but it doesn't matter, and this has Flash. So I think we're just going to attack. Let's see what they have, if anything. We'll attack for 2, and they go to 9. Because we can also always Cast Out on if they play somehow a bigger threat than this, which is really kind of pretty easy to do. They could replay this 3/2, which doesn't have First Strike, but it does have Vigilance. So, let's see. We passed with 3 cards in our hand. They're going straight to combat, which means I think we just do it here. I'm not a huge fan, but again, they have Compulsory Rest and another card, which we don't know what it is, but we have Miasmic Mummy to make them discard something. So I think we cast it here. Play Cast Out. Exiling the Warrior. Which means it just goes away. Yeah, it's not underneath because it's a token. And the cartouche goes to the graveyard. as it falls off. They tap.
They don't tap.
They're gonna either get this Unwavering Initiate back, yeah, for 5, which is fine, because we can do some Ketra's Name shenanigans to get rid of it, or just Miasmic Mummy to get rid of it, or Final Reward to get rid of it, because they only have 1 card in hand, and we all know what it is. So let's just attack for 2, take them to 7. These games are so long and just like grindy back and forth. But I think we wait. Because again, Final Reward could be used on something else, and they just drew something here. It's a Blighted Bat.
Yeah.
See? Now we can exile a Blighted Bat instead. Do they give it haste? They do give it haste. Well, thanks for using your mana. And now I will exile the Blighted Bat.
Only one person gets it.
Yeah, exactly. That's our Blighted Bat. It gets exiled. They have a 3/2, which they'll attack with, and that's totally fine. Because like I said, we have the Miasmic Mummy. We'll both be at 7. It's fine. They're still not compulsory resting our Blighted Bat, and I genuinely don't know why. There you go. No? Still not doing it. I'm genuinely surprised. I think they think we have something here, and we're holding it up for the Blighted Bat. So what I think we'll do is I'm going to play Ketra's Name, deal 4 damage to them in the air, then play Miasmic Mummy. They discard their compulsory rest, and we discard nothing. We're going to attack, so that's fine. So we attack. Our attackers have been chosen, and now we activate Ketra's Name, making it a 4/2 flying bat. We know what card they have in their hand, so we go through attacks, through blocks, through damage. They go to 3, and then we play the Miasmic Mummy, making them discard the compulsory rest, so that now they can't compulsory rest the Blighted Bat anymore.
Cool.
Yep. They discard compulsory rest, and we end our turn. If we want, anytime we can sack this to gain 2 life for 2 mana. But I don't think we need to. If they attack, we block, and they lose 1 life to our zombie dying. Yeah, they totally do that. They have no cards in hand, because I guess they played the land that they drew, so they didn't even want to bluff it, which means that they lose now. Because we block, it trades, the zombie dies, they lose a life, and then they take 2 damage in the air next turn. So that's this game. There you go. Okay, we go to sideboard. They could have lived if they hadn't attacked. I don't know why they didn't. Oh, I guess because if we attacked with the Miasmic Mummy, they would still block, and it would die, because they would have to block. Did we see anything that we care about? We saw 2 compulsory rests, and we saw a bunch of creatures, but Labor of the Heart, we already have 2 creatures are important. We saw both our final rewards that game. We didn't see either of our kind of top-end stuff that game. We did see the Plague Belcher, but they were able to deal with that with compulsory rest. But we also learned that for some reason they are very anti-compulsory resting the Blighted Bat, which is great for us, because that's basically what won us that game.
They might be more aggressive this time.
I would hope so. But that's fine, because there's really nothing more that we can put in to prevent that from happening. Because we don't... Black doesn't really have enchantment destruction, and we didn't get any Forsake the Worldlies. I don't think we even saw Forsake the Worldlies in our draft. Maybe we did, but we probably took better stuff over it.
Like a Labor of the Heart.
like one of our 45 Labor of the Hearts. Yeah, this hand's great. Keep it. We'll go like that, and like that, and like that. They go to combat. Whoop-de-doo. They end their turn. We have a Grimstrider as well. Okay, well, we start playing lands, we start playing other stuff. We're just going to end our turn. They go. We can't even cycle anything, so we just F6 through whatever they're doing. They play a Binding Mummy. That's a really good card. For them. And for us if we had it, but we don't. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield under their control, they can tap an artifact or a creature. We're just going to play a second land and end our turn. Okay, now it's their turn. They can attack us for 2. That would make sense. We're going to play the Cursed Minotaur next turn. Probably. Because is it better than the Plague Belcher? I think it is. They're both the same. They're both 3/2 menaces if we use the -1/-1 counters on the Plague Belcher. We go to 18. Do they play something for 3? They play a Cursed Minotaur. Okay. And they get to tap an artifact or a creature. It's a you may. So they do. They choose to do it on their own creature. Oh, but they can just say no. But it doesn't matter. That's fine. Wow. Okay. Just every land in our deck, huh? That's fine. We have 3... I think we Curse Minotaur here first. If they play a zombie, they're just going to tap it down, which is fine. And if they attack with the Binding Mummy, we're not blocking. And if they attack with the Curse Minotaur, we can't block because it has Menace. But next turn, we're not playing Grimstrider. That would be silly. We could cast something out. I don't necessarily see a need this early, although they didn't have any massive threats. Curse Minotaur is kind of just as good of a target as anything else. We could cast out Blighted Bat. That's fine. And they tap down our Minotaur anyway, which is fine. That happens. They give it haste. So we take 7 damage here. Jesus. That was a real fast start for them. Okay. We will take 7. End our turn. We have a 4th land. Ugh. Alright. So I think... Problem is we need to start like doing stuff.
That helps.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I think like cast out's good for exiling stuff. We can exile either the Minotaur because it deals more damage, or the Bat because right now it's unblockable, basically. Whereas if we played a second creature, the Minotaur is not unblockable. I think for now... See, the problem is, if we play the Plague Belcher, and they play a zombie, they're just going to tap down one of our 2 creatures, and then we can't block the Minotaur anyway, and that would be the reason to play the Plague Belcher. So I think we attack here for 3, take them to 17, and then see what we can cast out. It's probably the Blighted Bat, which pains me to say it, because I'd rather use it on the Minotaur. If we draw a final reward next turn, we can final reward the Bat instead. They have 5. They could also have final reward. Anything?
Blow.
Okay.
Interesting.
They go to combat. That's fine. They can go straight to combat. I think they may have been debating whether to play something that's in their hand or not. Okay. So on declare attackers. Damn it. I think it's the bat. I think it has to be the bat. I hope we draw a 2-drop creature next turn. Because then we can play Plague Belcher and the 2-drop. So that we can have 3 creatures so we can block the Minotaur and then later on be able to effectively block the Menacer even if they tap something down. Okay, we go to 8, which kind of sucks. We're not dead. 8 is not 0, but they're tapping 3, 4 to play 3 to play an Unwavering Initiate. Okay, we know that guy. That's a good final reward target as well. Planes. That is not things. All right. If we play Grimstrider, it's a 2/2. Whereas if we play Plague Belcher, it's a 3/2. And any zombie they play taps one of our things down. So I'm going to try that. We still have Inno-Catcher's Name, which is nice. We can give all of our zombies, which is all of our creatures, +2/+1, so they both become 5/3s, which means they don't die to Binding Mummy, but they would die to either of these two. We're gonna choose itself. We go to combat but don't attack, so we might as well just end our turn here. And then on their turn, see if we can do some blocking shenanigans if we have the opportunity to. Problem is if they attack with both of these, we can only kill one. We'll lose a creature in the process, even with Inno-Catcher's Name. And I think we would probably just block the Unwavering Initiate with the Cursed Minotaur so that we can make them lose a life. But they would be able to embalm it back and tap something down, but that's on their turn only. And we'll have Grimstrider next turn. So I think that's what we do. We use this 3/2 menace to block this 3/2, just so that we're not letting them kill our Plague Belcher here, because we'd have to block with both. They trade, you lose a life, I go to 5, which is becoming more and more of a dangerous situation for us. Still not dead, but not good. 3, 4. 4 mana. They're still in combat, though. I'm pretty sure I've made that mistake before as well, just because it's this system. If they were in person, this wouldn't be happening.
Ooh.
They play a Soul Stinger. What do they put the counters on? It's not a zombie. But if they put the counters on itself, yeah, it actually makes it a hell of a lot more manageable. It becomes a 2/3.
Weird.
They have to, right? Because if they put it on either of these, they would just die. And they'd rather build out their board wider because I only have one blocker.
I see.
They don't know we have an Inno-Catcher's Name, and now we have a Fan Bearer. Thank God. Okay, so if we play a land, we have 6, which is 4, 5. We wouldn't have enough to keep up Inno-Catcher's Name, but this would be a 4/4, which can block anything that they have, which is good because we need that. In fact, I may have to block with the Fan Bearer, like block with Fan Bearer, Plague Belcher on the Menace guy, especially if they tap something down. Then we would take 3 and go to 2? They only have 1 card in hand, but they can bring this back, which is a zombie, so they just automatically have it. But Inno-Catcher's Name doesn't help us there, because it would only make this... It would make this a 3/3, which means it could block Soul Stinger and not die, but it would still die to Cursed Minotaur, but it can't kill Cursed Minotaur. That's a tough choice. I think we have to play out these 2 creatures. The problem is then we don't have Inno-Catcher's Name, but it's all we can do. So we're going to tap 4 for the Grimstrider. They have 2 mana open, but I don't know of... unless they have an Inno-Catcher's Name themselves, but I'm then going to play the Fanbearer. If the Fanbearer lives, we can activate it next turn. And we're going to end our turn because I'm not attacking. Okay, they can tap something down because they have 5 mana. Presumably they tap down the Grimstrider. And then I have a 3/2 and a 1/2 to double block this with. Yeah, there's the 5 mana for the Unwavering Initiate. That's fine. They tap down the Grimstrider. We have to block the... Actually, it depends on how they attack. If they attack with Binding Mummy, we split our blocks. But if they don't attack with... Yeah, the Sacred Cat's fine. If they don't attack with Binding Mummy, then we block the Cursed Minotaur, take 2, go to 3. Otherwise, we take 3, go to 2. And they lose 1 life? Yeah, because whenever another zombie dies. So they'll lose 1 life if Fanbearer dies this turn. Stressful. This is only game 2, though, and we won game 1, right? So... okay. So they are attacking with everything. We have to block... Oh, they're still not declare attackers. We have to block this way and this way. They have no cards in hand. And we're not killing something with Embalm. Plague Belcher happens, yes. Soul Stinger had 2 -1/-1 counters on it, so it can put it on the Grimstrider. That's fine. So the Grimstrider becomes a 2/2. When I draw a card, it becomes a 1/1. But then on my turn, it gets bigger again. They have no cards in hand, so their turn is over. I drew another Fanbearer. That's not good enough. 2 blockers on the Cursed Minotaur means we die to everything else. Yeah, we're done. We will concede and go to the next game. Which at that point kind of means we shouldn't have shown them the second Fanbearer, but that's okay. Because now they know we have 2, but they don't know we have 3.
Third Fanbearer.
Nobody suspects the third Fanbearer. I still don't know what we put in here. Vizier of Deferment. Exile something that attacked or blocked, but that game it didn't matter. They didn't have anything that... They didn't even play... They didn't have cartouches. They had a game 1, but they didn't play game 2. And even then, it really doesn't matter getting rid of something that has +1/+1 and first strike. Oh, man. Vizier of Remedies isn't helpful here. Impeccable Timing might not be bad. Dealing 3 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. That's not bad at all. Alright, so we'll put in Impeccable Timing. But what do we take out for it? We don't take out Blighted Bat. That won us game 1. It might just be another Lay Bare the Heart. Get as many creatures as we can. All right, we're at 40. Let's try it. This is the last game of the last round. Yes, I would like to play first. This needs to go away. God damn it. We have no white. We're on the play, not the draw. We have 3 lands for both Grimstriders. I know I can't play Fanbearer on turn 1, and I don't think that's the reason why I want to mulligan. I think it's because we have nothing to do early, and if we don't draw white, we don't have impeccable timing. Ugh. Any land gets us Grimstrider, a white land gets us Fanbearer, but how long do we have to wait for it? We have nothing until turn 4. I think we're faster than that. Yeah. We have 3, so we have the Never. We're keeping this. We have 2 for Miasmic Mummy. Lay-Bare the Heart's on top. I'll keep that on top as well, because we can get a Lay-Bare the Heart off early. We play a Swamp first, and then end our turn. Next turn we have Lay-Bare the Heart. We probably just cycle Stir the Sands to get something out early. That's fine. They have a Sacred Cat. Okay. We'll take a damage from that instead of playing Miasmic Mummy. Oops. We'll target them. Tap 2. Okay, so they have Unwavering Initiate, which we don't want to help them out by putting that in their graveyard. They have 2 Blighted Bats, a Binding Mummy, and a Cursed Minotaur. It's gonna be... We know we have Never. So we can kill something for 3, which would probably be the Cursed Minotaur. Which means that I think we get rid of the Binding Mummy here. Because they have Zombie, Zombie, Zombie. And they start tapping stuff down. Plus when they embalm this, it comes back as a zombie. So I think we get rid of Binding Mummy here. Plus it would be their turn 2 play. And now they just have a million turn 3 plays. So yeah, we get rid of Binding Mummy.
Good deal.
Yeah, we then end our turn. That's it for us. All right, we played a land already, so go ahead. That was interesting. Okay, they go to combat. They attack for 1. They go to 21. We go to 19. That's fine. Now it's our turn. We drew a Plague Belcher. Do we play the Plague Belcher? I think we do. This is sorcery, so we can only activate it on our turn, so there's no point in keeping the mana up for it. So I say we Plague Belcher here. It's a good card, and they seemed to be afraid of it. And it goes on itself, clearly, and then we end our turn. If we draw a land, we can Stir the Sands cycle, but I think we just leave this up because I think they're playing the Cursed Minotaur. Very good. We'll kill that happily. They still have a Blighted Bat. They probably played the Plains at this point. They did play the Plains. They still have the Unwavering Initiate and the other Blighted Bat. So they're going to combat. I was going to say they could attack in the hopes of embalming later, but I don't see why they would waste a creature doing that. I'm going to Never right now. The nice thing is we have Return, so that if and when that Unwavering Initiate dies, goes to the graveyard, whatever, we can exile it to make a zombie. I'm going to attack.
I love how you play Never right now.
I'm gonna Never right now. Alright. I was gonna say, please let me go to combat. Thank you. Okay. And that's it. They're at 18, we're at 19, but they can switch that back. Here's a Blighted Bat, which they will give haste and attack for 3. That's fine. Because we know they have 2 Blighted Bats. Oh, our clock just went under 5 minutes. Okay. We have nothing going on here. So they end their turn. Hey, we drew a land. We have Grimstrider, which would be a 4/4. Still can't block effectively. Let's go to combat first. Attack for 3. No blocks. And then we play Grimstrider for 4. And it's a 4/4. That's pretty good. They tap 3 for the Blighted Bat and use the other 1 to give it haste. That's fine. We take 4 in the air here, go to 12. That's not as fine, but we do still have 7 damage next turn. It actually might be 8 damage next turn that we're attacking with. They can block the 4/4 and gain a life, or what would be a 5/5, I guess, and gain a life. Oh, man. We play a land. We go to combat. We attack for 7. They can only block the 4/4 because they don't have 2 creatures to block the menace. It dies, they gain a life, but they lose 3, so they lose 2, go to 14. And then we cycle on their turn. The zombies can't block the bats. The zombie token can't block the bats. Oh, that's a damn shame. If I kind of want to... They're going to play Unwavering Initiate here? Nope. Another Blighted Bat.
Yeah, they had the third one.
Holy crap. They're attacking for 6, which means we lose next turn? Wow.
Go figure.
Wow. Really? That's insane. There are a few things that at least save us for a turn. Any removal spell. They bring back the stupid cat. That's fine. And we lose. We take 6 damage in the air and lose. We can play Miasmic Mummy, discard Stir the Sands, play Miasmic Mummy, and discard nothing. And then this is a 6/6, so we can attack for 9. But that's not enough. They go to 5, they attack us for 6, and we lose. We could cycle this, leaving 1 mana open in the hopes of drawing nothing for 1 mana that can save us here. And we'd have a 2/2 zombie as opposed to 2 2/2 zombies. So let's just do all that we can and go out in a blaze of glory. We play Miasmic Mummy. We each discard a card. I will choose Stir the Sands. What do they discard? Just out of curiosity. The Unwavering Initiate. We will tap 2 to play a Miasmic Mummy. They discard their other card, which is a Compulsory Arrest. Jesus. We go to combat. We attack with 9 power. They take it all because our hand is empty. They could block, I guess, with the lifelinker and try to gain a life and then lose 2. That's fine. And they win with 6 damage in the air, which is incredible. Blighted Bats win games, man. That's what we've learned today.
Folks, let that be a lesson to you.
Blighted Bats win games. Well, the good old 1 and 2. We lost 2 matches. We won 1 match. Blau wins the match, and we have completed the league. We return to details, and that is it. Loss, win, loss. This deck was not as good as I thought it would be, but it was still fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Geek for All. They're going to pop up on the screen. Check out more videos on our channel. We have more drafts. We did a bunch of intro drafts, as I said. I'll probably link that. And then we have some product openings as well. We actually opened physical paper Amonkhet as well. So you can check that out. We have a bunch of those videos. You can subscribe when you see our link. You can click on that. You can subscribe to find out when more drafts come out, more product openings, things like that. From Geek for All, I've been Joe.
This is Dave.
And for Amy as well, as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks so much, everybody.